You are welcome to my channel, Mindset Academy, where we want to draw the development of a cone, right? And if you look at the top right corner of the screen, you see a diagram that is displaced there, and it shows a truncated cone. And if you talk about a cone, we know that a cone is a three-dimensional solid geometric shape having a circular base and a point edge at the top called the apex, right? And that's what we call a cone. So looking at it, you realize that it is, in terms of your orthographic projection, you see it is more like a triangle. If I'm to reproduce that shape that is displayed on the top right corner of the screen, I'll be having something like this. I'll pick up my set square, right? And I'm going to draw an horizontal line with my t-square this way, and I'm going to draw a vertical line also this way. You can see that where these points meet, that will be the center of the circle. So I'm starting with the plan, right? What you're seeing there is the elevation. Now if you look closely here, you discover that the measurement here, dimension here is diameter. You can see that sign there, right? In front of, behind the 64 is given as what? Diameter. So that means we're going to draw a circle. Whenever I see that sign, it means we are drawing what? A circle, right? So we'll draw half of it. We need the radius. So half of 64 is 32. And I'll pick up my rule, and I'll measure 32. All right, this is 32 here. And I'm going to come to this center here where the two lines intersect, and I'm going to draw a circle which I am going to thicken. You can see that, which I'm going to what? Thicken. So this is what I have. Now I'm going to project the two ends of this circle this way. So in projecting the two ends of the circle this way, I'll be having this. I'm going to be having this way. That is the two ends of the circle. So at any given distance, I'm going to draw a straight line, which I am going to thicken. So I'm going to thicken that straight line this way. Now this line I've thickened is the base of what? Of this shape you're seeing here, from here to here. That is from here to here, right? Now the height is given, that is from the base here to the pointer edge, which is the apex, given to be 54, right? So from this point here, I'm going to measure 54. This is the 54 that we have here. You can see that. And I'm going to join from here to this point. Faint line first. And from here to this point. Faint line first. You can see that. Now, if you look closely, from where this cone is being truncated, from where this cone is being truncated is what? 20 millimeter upward from the base of the triangle, as you can see from here to here, 20 millimeters. So I'm going to measure 20 here, right? I'm going to measure 20 here from 0 to what? 2 here is given to be 20. And I'm going to use that point to get the side of what? The cone, right? To touch the side of the cone. So from this point here, I'm going to measure an angle of what? 30 degrees. So we are going to cut it. We're going to truncate it from this point here at an angle of what? 30 degrees. So we know if I should place my t square this way, my set square this way, this inclined side is what? Is 30 degree. So I'm going to move it on my t square until I get to that point, right? When I get to that point, that is where we start truncating it. So I will cut it at an angle of what? An angle of 30 degree. You can see that? That is the angle of 30 degree. Now I can now thicken the rest in this manner, right? Thicken the rest in this manner, and also thicken here to here in this manner, this way. You can see that? So this is what we have, right? We successfully reproduced the figure that is displayed at the top right hand side of the screen. So the first thing you do is that you're going to divide this your circle because it's representing the plan of this shape here. So I'll divide this circle into 12 equal parts. Now in doing that, I'll place my compass from the edge to the center here, right? And I'm going to mark left up. I'll place it here with the same radius. I'll mark here. I'll place it here. I'll mark here and what? And here. You can see that? So I'll take my meter rule and each of those points I'll pass them through the center of this circle here. You can see that? Through the center of this circle here. Through the center of this circle here. Through the center of this circle here. You can see that? And I'm going to start, right? This will be 0, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All good? Now the next thing we'll do after we've done that is to generate this point, each of those points. Before that, we place our compass at this apex point here, right? And I'll take it to this point here, right? This end of the circle, the cone here. And I'll draw an arc, faint line, right? I'll draw an arc, faint line. So let me show you what I just did here. So that is the arc there. Now I will not take the division of each of this circle, each of any of the division, either 0 and 1 or 1 or 2. I'll start marking around this circumference. This is the circumference here. I'll place it here. I'll mark 1, right? I'll come here. I'll mark 2. Zero, right? So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's how I'm going to name it, just like what I did here. Circumference, the circle here is what we placed here, right? This is the length of what? Of the circumference that we have here. Now we'll move forward. Now what I'll do is from the apex point here, I'm going to radiate or draw lines from that point to touch each of this point I marked on the circumference here. So from here, so from this point, I'll draw from the apex point here. From this point, So this is what we have, right? So the next thing we'll be doing here is to, if this triangle was not truncated, this cone was not truncated, right? Let's say from this point here, we're taking it to this point. This will be our answer, right? But since it is truncated, what we'll do now is to reject each of those points in order to get access to this. We'll reject each of those points, move one to touch the base of it. You can see that. I'll move line 1 to touch the base. This is the point 1 here, right? That is point 1. And I'm going to move it to the center, right, of this. You can see that. So where the line is touching here, that will be point 1. You can see that. Now from that line point 1, I'm going to rotate my circle, my point, to touch this side of the cone. You can see closely. I've rotated it to touch the side of the cone. So let me call that point here to be what, my point 1 here. So let me remove this, right? So here is touching here, that will be 1. While this side here is what, 0. So this is 1 and this is what, 0. This point is 0. The next point here is 1. So that is, move the 0, there is 0, and move to 1, that is 1, right? So to make our work more understanding, from the center point here, right, I'm going to take it to 0. You can see that? And I'll draw an arc this way for 0. You can see? So where your line of 0 meets 0 is at this point. So where the same line of 0 will meet 0 at this point. That is another point here, point 0. Right? Similarly, I will go to that same point here. I'll take it to 1. Then I'll draw an arc also this way for 1. You can see that? For 1. Now, where the line, right, where this line meets 1 is at this point. That is point 1. And we'll move again to meet 1. This is the line of 1 again, meets here. That is another 1. All good? Now we'll go to 2. Now when I place my z square, my t square, I move it to 2. Right? And I have this to touch the base of the triangle this way. Right? And from here, I'll project it towards the center. Right? So projecting it towards the center, where it touched this inclined line that I truncated, it will be a point that I will now move or draw to the side of the what? Of the cone. You can see that? So I'll call that point 2. So from that point 2, that I'm going to take my compass, place it at this point here and take it to 2. You can see that? And I'm going to draw another arc this way. Right? So I will now move it. This is a line of 2. So where this line of 2 meet another 2 here will be a point. I'll call it point 2. And the same thing too, where it meets here will be another point. I'll call it what? Point 2. Right? I'll come again, move 3. Now this is a line of 3. Right? Going towards the center from this point. Towards the center, this is 0, 1. This is 2. This is a line of 3 here. So going towards the center at this point, I will use my t square and I'll generate the point to the center, to this side of the cone. That point will be my point 3. Now I'll take my compass from the center of this way, right? I will take it to that point 3. You can see that. I will now draw. You can see. So that point 3, where the line of 3 meet the arc of 3, be another point this way. That will be my point 3. And similarly, 3 will meet 3 again at this point. That will be my line 3. This arc is the arc of 3. So where it meets this line of 3, and this of 3 will be another point. Then I'll do again for 4. I'll come to 4 to meet the base of the triangle. This is of the cone, is the 4. And I'll radiate it, I will generate it. I'm going to draw a line from the apex point to that line of 4. You can see that. So where it meets the truncated part of the cone, I'll use my t-square or my rule, ensure it is perpendicular to that point, and I'm going to draw a line to touch the side of the cone. That will be the point 4, right? And I'll take my compass. Now place it at the apex point of the triangle of the cone here, right? This way to 4, and I'm going to draw another arc this way for 4, right? So where the 4 meet the arc of 4 is here. That is point 4. And also where the same 4 meet the line of 4 again is here. That will be another 4, right? Then I'll come to 5. And I'll do the same thing to touch here. That will be what? 5. And I'm going to draw a line from that point aiming at the apex point of the cone. So where that line meets here, I'm going to generate it to the center, to the side of the cone from this point. You can see that. That will be for 5. And from that point 5, I'll take my compass from that point, right, to 5. And I'm going to have this. So that is the arc of 5. And I'm going to take that point of 5. This is 5. Where 5 made the arc of 5. Trace it is the arc of 5. It's 5 here. You can see that. That is 5. And also between 5 here also, there's a 5. Right? Then the last point here, 6. We have this. Automatically it's going towards the center. So I'll generate moving this point here to touch the side of the cone this way. You can see that. That will be for 6. So I'm going to generate that point, or draw an arc from that point this way. You can see that. So it will be meeting where 6 meets 6 is at this point here. That is the 6 that we have. Right? So I'm going to take first of all, I will take my compass, take it to the end of the line here. Right? And I will thicken it right this way. Do that. First thing I'll do, then the other thing is to use the French curve and connect each of these points here. 5, 6, and so on and so forth. So let me do that. So I'll use this. to connect this point here, right? So when I do that, I'll be having this. So depending on the angle that was being given. Are we good? So this is what we have here. This is um, development of the cone when you truncate it at an angle of what 30 degree. It changes as the angle changes too, right? Now what we will see when we're looking at it from the top, and we're going to draw development, see how the plan will look like. This is the development. So how would the plan look like, right? When you truncate a given figure at the top. So what I'll do is I'll take my set square, place on my t square, and the first point is from 0. I'll draw my 0 line downward this way. So where the line cuts 1 and cuts 1 here, that is 0. Where the line cuts 0, sorry, this point here, right? When I move the 0 line downward this way, right? Where the line cuts 0 is at this point here. So that'll be my point 0. So don't get carried away. So let me move this. So where the line of 0 meets 0 is the first point. Similarly, I'm going to go to 2. Here's the line of 2 here. 2. You can see that. I'll bring that down. Right? So where the line of 2 cuts 2, this is the 2 here. Here, this is another 2 here. Here. Right? This is for 2. This is for 2. So let's not forget about 1. So let's go to 1. This line of 1 here. I'll bring it down here. This way. Right? So if it's coming down here this way, where it cuts 1, this is 1. And where it cuts 1 again, this is another 1. Right? At this point, 1 meets 1 and meets 1 also. Then similarly, we'll go to 3. This is 3, right? 3 is just there on its own. If I bring out the 3 down, it's coming down straight, so it is just there on its own. Now I'll just take 3 to the center this way. So we'll go to 4 first. At 4, I'll draw the line from this point downward, right? So where the line of 4 meet 4, consider this is 4. When you project the 4 here, you bring it down. Where 4 meets 4, right? This is line of 4, and this is 4. I can also get that for 3. What I'll just do for 3 is I'll just place it at this point to this point 3 here. You can see that as the center line. And I'll come to this center here, and I'm going to mark 3 and what? 3. So this is the point of 3, and this is the point of 3. You can see that? Then the next one is what? It's 5. So I'll go to 5. I'll do the same thing. So where the line, this 5, is coming down this way, where 5 meets 5 is here, that is 5. When 5 meets 5 is here, that's another 5. Right? Then we have 6. Project the line of 6 downward. This is 6 here. So I'll bring it down. So this is 6 here. You don't have to start naming them. Start taking. I'm just naming them so you get to understand what I'm doing. So where 6 meets 6, so that's what we have there. So I'll now use my French code and connect those points together. So I can easily take this 3 this way. we'll be having something like this. We have successfully reproduced the figure that is displayed at the right hand side of the screen, right? And we have drawn the development of the figure. Also, we drew the plan to see what we'll be looking at when we're looking at it from the top. So this is a complete plan here. So if you have actually found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.